Welcome back to Full Circle Florida. This week, President Biden did something he's rarely done during his presidency so far, address the nation in prime time. Then again, this week, the president also did something that no other president has ever done in history, travel to Israel during the middle of a raging war. Here's how the president himself assessed the situation.
I know these conflicts can seem far away, and it's natural to ask, why does this matter to America? So let me share with you why making sure Israel and Ukraine succeed is vital for America's national security. You know, history has taught us that when terrorists don't pay a price for their terror, when dictators don't pay a price for their aggression, they cause more chaos and death and more destruction. They keep going, and the cost and the threats to America and the world keep rising.
And with so much happening so fast, it's easy to think this latest flare-up in the Middle East came out of nowhere. It didn't. Here now with the deeper context, my conversation with USF professor Dr. Arturo Jimenez Bacardi. This conflict didn't just come out of nowhere. What was leading up to this confrontation and the attack between Israel and Hamas?
Well, yeah, as you mentioned, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is over 100 years old, so it depends on how far back you want to go. You know, is it late 1800s, 1948 war, 1967 war, First Intifada? In terms of the most immediate causes, most analysts that look carefully at the Israeli-Palestinian conflict were expecting a major conflagration and probably what is called a third intifada, meaning a mass uprising of Palestinians sometime in the near future. And part of the reason why we expected that is because there was increased violence and tensions in the West Bank, including Palestinian violence, but also settler violence by Israelis. A lot of Palestinians had been killed. There were also clashes and raids in what Palestinians called the Haram al-Sharif, or Israelis called the Temple Mount, which is the holiest place for Palestinians and for Israelis. And so there had been attacks in Palestinian village, and most recently in the village of West Bank village of Hawara, and several other villages where a lot of Palestinians had been evacuated. And so tensions were extremely high.
This really isn't being talked about right now, but just a few months ago in Israel, people there were calling for Benjamin Netanyahu to be removed from office. He's currently on trial, facing corruption charges. I don't think a lot of people realize that. A trial that's been delayed since 2020. Thousands of protesters, Israeli citizens on the streets, Army reservists, in fact, were threatening to ditch the defense force because they believed Netanyahu was a threat to democracy and tightening his grip on power. Has that all been forgotten at this point?
I think in the short term, I think Israelis are now united in terms of dealing with the immediate threat that is coming from Hamas. However, the very deep divisions among Israelis have certainly not been resolved. And you can already see that while there is an emergency government that has been established with Benny Gantz and Eisenkot joining the current coalition, the main opposition party of Yesh Atid has refused to join the coalition, in part because Netanyahu would not agree to put a temporary end on the very controversial reforms that the Netanyahu government has tried to push in order to weaken the independence and the power of the judiciary.
All right, time for the political fallout as we bring in our political analyst, Dr. Susan McManus. And while the Middle East burns, Congress is putting on their drama play again this week. If the House Republicans aren't getting votes from their own party, why don't they go over to the Democrats, try to negotiate some votes from them? You only need 8. If you can't scrum up 8 votes from the other party, you're either lazy, dishonest, or a loser. This shouldn't be that hard. This is the tail wagging the dog.
It's simply what we know to be true is that neither party wants to give an inch to the other. It's kind of like my way or the highway, even if it takes me down a dead-end road. That's kind of where we're at right now. But within each party, you've got big splits. Within the Republicans, clearly you've got the traditionalist moderates versus the MAGA. And then on the other side, which we see now emerging on the war issue among Democrats, splits between the centrists and the progressives. So within these two parties, you've also got two other parties.
It's like four parties right
Yes.
now. You talk about the other side, the Democrats. Wouldn't it be in their best interest to leverage this Republican weakness to win some concessions? It looks like they're enjoying watching the house of cards crumble a little too much.
Well, they have engaged, some have engaged in some conversations with House Republicans to come together with the idea that the current speaker be continued. But already the Democrats have laid out some pretty strong requirements for even moving in that direction, enough to help out get somebody a speaker. So this is intransigence. Meanwhile, the current favorability rating by Americans of Congress, 12%.
Wow, that says it all. Well, meanwhile, how do you assess President Biden's trip to Israel? Hard to know if it's going to make a difference in the conflict, but did it pay off politically? It was risky.
It was risky. It paid off politically, particularly for people who are very much pro-Israel. But the fact that he would go in the middle of the war, he's the first American president to ever do that. But he also was signaling not just to Americans, but to others in Israel. There are some things that he didn't accomplish that probably make it a little early to say whether it's truly successful. We wasn't able to meet with some other Arab nations.
Right.
And he also didn't really get the hostage situation under control, which a lot of people are watching that.
Yeah, bad timing with that explosion at the hospital. Meanwhile, Governor DeSantis in the headlines a lot this week, bringing Americans back home on these flights and not charging them for it, the way the federal government apparently is asking for reimbursements. But he also said that all Palestinians are essentially anti-Semitic and he wouldn't allow Palestinian refugees into Florida or America. How do you grade him this week? It looks like he's winning points on the flights, but when you say something like that, is that going to age well as this unfolds?
Making a statement like that is one of the absolute pitfalls of running for office, because you're so intent on showing strong leadership that you make these very blanket, monolithic statements that don't wear well with time. And I think that's the danger of that particular statement.
Yeah, foreign policy isn't always crystallized in 1 week or 1 month. Dr. McManus, thank you. Stay with us, because on the other side of the break, when we come back, our final thoughts on the week that was and the week ahead.